Hello world! In this video, I will share with you 4 online code editors that you can use. This is in case you can't download software or you just don't want to. I will share with you from the very basic ones, the ones that are used to create prototypes very fast or share answers on like Stack Overflow, and to more advanced ones, which are like full-on IDEs. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Whew, I'm glad I remember that one right. Where you can actually create bigger projects. My focus is going to be to help you find a place to write code online, mainly HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Hey, I'm Jen from Coding Jungle, where we talk everything related to front-end. If you are interested in this kind of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you get notified whenever I release new videos. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, let's start with the very first option. So here we have CodePen.io. I think I learned about CodePen.io some time ago now. I think it was one of the first online kind of communities that I found. And what's really cool about this one, let's go into start. Well, before we go into the start coding, let me show you what is kind of like so cool about CodePen.io. Not only can you code here online, but you can check out what other people are doing. So if we jump into the popular stuff, here, for example, you have very crazy stuff, really cool creators that are making everything with CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. Like in this example, we have an old school computer, and it's all built with HTML and CSS. So it's really cool because you have access to the source code, so you can actually see what other people are doing and maybe use their ideas and implement them in your projects as well. So let's go into the coding part. So here you click on Start Coding, and you will find this page. This page is already divided into 4 blocks, I would say. You have this area, which is for HTML, this one that is for CSS, this one that is for JS, and here you will see the results. The cool thing about here is that you don't need to worry about setup or anything like that. You pretty much just start typing. So let's start typing. Let's see, H1, let's call it what's up. If you don't know, I really like T-Rexes, so I'm gonna put a T-Rex because, you know, just to make it cool. And usually, yeah, you don't need to do anything else. You type and then it auto-saves and it auto-renders your result. The same with CSS. Let's tackle that H1 and then let's put it a crazy color, which I discovered recently, which is called cornflower blue. Again, I just stopped typing and it changed to cornflower blue. Here you have it. Here you can pretty much create little projects. This is really just to prototype stuff, maybe fast, to be able to see the results. I wouldn't build a whole project on CodePen. What other features does it have? Well, up here you have the save, and for that you actually need to create an account. You need to log in. I will show you that shortly. Here you have settings, which is very detailed settings for what you want to use as HTML preprocessors, CSS stuff, JavaScript as well, and other stuff. You have pro features as well. And you can also change the view if you want to have maybe the blocks now to the left and your results to the right, which is a bit more of a traditional view, I guess. I like working with this one. It's fine. And down here, you have things like the console and the assets, where you can upload assets. And again, uploading assets here is a pro feature. And here we have that it is free, but again, you cannot upload assets. And programs, or subscriptions, start with $8 a month. And here you can see all the benefits that each one has. So again, you will need to pay if you want to upload files. Anyway, so I promised you that I was going to show you what it looks like when you were logged in. So I'm going to log in with my account. Let's log in. And really nothing changes after you log in, except for the fact that you can save a pen. They're called pen. In this case, mine got erased. I don't know why, so just be sure to be careful. Maybe log in before you start working. So let's do this again. And the difference is now I can click on save, and it's gonna save it under my username, as you see here. And now I just have that. If I go to my account, for example, and I look at my projects, if I go to dashboard, I will see projects that I have done in the past. Yeah, so this is CodePen. Again, this is used just to prototype things very fast and to play around, and actually also to see what other cool people are doing with CSS and HTML. Now let's jump to the second option, which is JSFiddle. JSFiddle is really straightforward. It's super easy to use. I love it. And here you can see you can set different boilerplates in case you want to use something like Bootstrap, Vue, or React and stuff like that. And here pretty much tells you what it is for. Again, it is just for prototyping, for making demos, or for presenting code and answers on Stack Overflow. They actually have it here as a thing that you can do it for. And it's pretty cool. And again, here you don't need to set anything up. Actually, it comes kind of like working out of the box. Again, if I type in H1 and I hit tab, here let's do hello worlds again. Oh, let's do that with a Z. And let's do this again with a little dinosaur, just because, you know, it's cool. The kind of like, I didn't find, if you want to auto-save, I know why it's not auto-saving and showing the result here. It's because to be able to do auto-run code, you need to log in to be able to do that. I don't have an account here at JSFiddle, but the workaround here is to click on run. If you click on run, it does the same thing. It's kind of annoying because you always have to click here unless you have an account created there. And again, if I do H1 and then color corn, flower, blue, click on run, and here we have our results. So what else can you do here? The cool thing here is that you can save it, and you can save it without actually having an account. It just warns you that you shouldn't have any personal data or any copyrighted material. And if you click save, then you can have this URL that you can share with other people, and it's always going to be there. I have not found a way really to upload assets here in JSFiddle. Again, this is mainly used for example, if you have a problem or you want you have a solution to something and you want someone else to have a look at it, or you want to demonstrate something, do a demo, as it said at the beginning, you would use this JSFiddle thing. Now let's jump to, so these two, CodePen and JSFiddle, they were kind of like the basic quick prototype tools. Now let's jump into the other options, which are more kind of like IDEs which run on your browser. First one is CodeSandbox. Here you have a very brief introduction of what it is. Again, you can prototype easily. You can, I think this one you can collaborate with others. Well, you can experiment. You can share with others. Yeah, this one doesn't have a lot of collaborative features. I think that's the next one I'm going to show you. Here in Sandbox, it's pretty straightforward. There's a button, Create Sandbox, and it's free. I don't need to sign up, so that's pretty cool. And here, actually, you have options to create all kinds of projects, which is really cool. So things are already set up and working out of the box if you want to work with React, Angular, Preact, or any other frameworks. So that's pretty cool. But because we're focusing on very basic level and beginner level, for us is enough to work with static HTML. Once you click that, you already have here the difference with the other ones. If you remember, you did not see this initial code from HTML. So the cool thing here is that you have access to pretty much all of the head of the document. Yeah, and here, for example, Emmet is included. Emmet is a plugin used to be able to type shortcuts for HTML. So let me show you what I mean. So I honestly don't know the syntax of linking CSS out of my head. I usually Google it or it's already there. So I use Emmet because it's very simple. You just put link and then you put here CSS. And you see here it says Emmet abbreviation already. And if I click enter, bam, so it takes care of it for me. I don't need to worry about it. Now you would say, okay, Jen, that is super cool, but where the hell is your style CSS? So that is pretty easy. Here I do Command S or Control S on Windows and it saves it. And here I can create a new file. Is it this one? Yes. And here I put style.css, matching the name that it's here. Bams, and we have that working. So here we have already an H1, which has a very boring H1. So let's just say hello worlds. No, Z, remember, we're cool like that. Again, Command S, and that saves it. And here, now I have an external file that I can work with. And super annoying here a little bit. I think you can change it in the preferences, but you need to double click for this to remain open. And here we tackle again H1. And guess what color we're going to put it? What was it? Corn, flower, blue. Super cool here is that, as you see, you have this autofill and you have already like a preview of what the color looks like. Crimson. Let's try crimson. Why not? And again, Command S or Control S in Windows, and it saves it, and you see the results immediately. So I tried to upload assets here, and the first time I tried it, I tried to do something like this, and it didn't work. So the thing they need to do is you actually need to create a folder. Let's call it Assets. And you can only upload assets inside a folder. It doesn't need to be called assets. You can call it anything you want, but assets is usually what it's called. And here we have what is a 3-star SVG. If we look at it here, you see it looks like this. And again, then you can link the assets to your index HTML. Let's try to do that. So if I put image, again, I hit tab, source, I will put assets, and it's called 3. Here, look, this is not gonna work really. I need to put a little dash to rename it. So let's put it 3 stars SVG. So here, let's put 3 stars .svg. Good practice always is to put an alt tag. So let's put 3 stars. Very complicated. Stars. Command S. And here we have our 3 stars. So it's pretty straightforward. You can keep on adding folders, files as you wish. You have access to your package JSON. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. You don't need to know about that if you just want to code HTML and CSS and some JavaScript. And the same, if you already know some JavaScript and you want to use that, again, you start a file and you call it index.js. And here you even have the little icons that tell you what the files are. And here you can start working. What else do we have here? Well, it's pretty cool. You can save it. You can export it as zip if then you want to have those files to use them somewhere else or share them with someone. And you have a lot of options here. Also super cool, you can sign in with your GitHub, and then this is connected to a repository that you have in GitHub, so you can have version control directly. So you can do version control. Oh my God, I don't. So you can version control your project. There we go. And here also super cool. You can have some deployment scripts and everything. It's pretty nice. I think it looks pretty cool. Here you can embed. Here you have options of how you can embed the code. Either, for example, here they even give you examples. Like you can use this code if you write articles in Medium. You can use this to embed the code in a website or as an iframe. Also here you have buttons that they show you that you can share like that, or a QR code. Whoa, that's big. Or here to share it on Dev or Twitter. So, and all these functions, I didn't sign in once. So I think that's pretty cool. Now let's go to the next option. I found this one also called Repl.it. Let's go to the top. So this one is a one that is a bit more collaborative, meaning that others can code with you in a way. You have all the features here. And again, you can code in the browser. And the difference here is that you can code together with other people. So let's start coding. Again, to start coding, I have a button here up there. I don't need to sign up for that. And here it gives me the options of how I want to start the project, with which language. And again, since we're focusing on the very basics, let's put HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Create Repl. Is that even how it's pronounced? Repl? Repl. I don't know. And again, here it's very similar to the one that we found in what's it called? In CodeSandbox. You see, we have this field here too. Where is it? We have this field here as well. So let's see if this one has Emmet. Oh, this one already has, actually I don't need to put a style CSS because it already has these 3 files: index.html, script.js, and style.css. So again, here in the body tag, let's create a beautiful h1 tag. Bad thing here, when I put h1 tab, doesn't autofill. So I believe Emmet is not installed. I really haven't researched if you can install it, so you don't need to type everything manually. But for the sake of this demonstration, what happens if I click? Oh, it just tells me what it is. Okay, it doesn't autocomplete. I click enter, H1. I need to actually open it. Then let's close it. If I click enter here, it closes it automatically. Okay, so not so automatic, not as easy to use as CodeSandbox. Anyways, here let's put something different. I love dinos. Yes. And what happens here? Again, you need to click on run for this to work, and here we will see the result, hopefully. Where is the result? Here we go. I love dinos. And if we go into the styles, again, same thing, H1. Color. And here again, the cool thing that they do have in CSS is, again, you have access to all the gazillion colors that exist. So because we are creative, we will use this honeydew one. Again, nothing happens automatically. You need to click on run for things to work. Okay, obviously you cannot read this, but here I highlighted it and now you can see it says, I love dinos with this honeydew color. If we would want it to read this and be like, okay, either A, we can give a background color to this. Let's put black just for readability purpose. And here we go. I love dinos. So that's pretty simple. Okay, so those were the 4 code editors, online code editors, that I promised I was going to show you. Now, I also promised that I was going to tell you which one would I choose. To be honest, to prototype things fast, I would use JSFiddle. I just think it's cool that you can save it without actually logging in, and then you can just share that URL with anyone. I've used JSFiddle, for example, when I've had to give presentations or small trainings to other developers. It's pretty cool to just open it up and things are there without needing to log in or anything. So that's pretty nice. Now, for bigger projects, which one would I choose? That is kind of a tough one. Okay, if I would have to pick, I would have to pick CodeSandbox. It's a tough decision, not because I was between CodeSandbox and Repl. It's because, honestly, I would always want to have my projects and my computer, so I would download a software for it. But if I absolutely have to choose something online, I would choose CodeSandbox. I would possibly even pay for the Pro version, which I think it's $9 a month, just because that gives you private repositories or private projects. So I wouldn't want everything to be exposed to the world and to be public. So yeah, CodeSandbox would be my choice. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions regarding code editors or anything related to front end, be sure to leave them in the comments below. I promise you I'll read them and answer those questions for you. Anyways, hit that subscribe button, and until next time, peace!